Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome, bloodsuckers, to another chapter in our ongoing vampire soap opera, Vampires of Pittsburgh. This is the storyline called Lockdown. My name's Jared Logan. You're watching did I point at it? Stream of Blood. The Stream of Blood is a tabletop role-playing game live play channel where we play all kinds of games, but our favorite game that we play is this fantastic game from Modiphius and the people at Paradox Interactive, people like Jason Carl, Ken Hite, and a ton of other really great writers, designed by Karam Muammar. I mean, play this game. It's a great game. We've been having fun playing it for, God, have we gone to 50 episodes of this series yet? I think we're close. Happy Easter. What better way to celebrate resurrections than with a nice game of Vampire? And actually, I wanted to bring in my secret storyteller, Clinton Trucks, for just a moment. Clinton Trucks, I understand that there's someone who wants to wish someone else a very happy Easter.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we're Hollywood insiders. We know famous people, and we care about you and the big guy. So we got a little friend with a message.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
The Xbox 360. I can't wait to buy one of those. I hear it's got some exciting new graphics. So thank you, Usher, for wishing Xbox a happy Easter. Happy Easter to all of you. And we're so happy to be here and play this game here in the year 2021. Let's bring in our fantastic players because we left on such a precipitous cliffhanger last time. We got one finger on the ledge right now, and it's just kind of slipping. So we got to get right into that cliffhanger. I'm going to first bring in the guy I always bring in first because I'll be honest, he's first in my heart. He is an esoteric reader, scholar, rhetorician. That's not a word. And he's a great improviser and actor. No. Yeah. What do you say when someone is a master of rhetoric? Clint? Secret storyteller Clint?
He's a raconteur for certain.
Okay, sure. Okay, but that's not what I was looking for. It's okay. Let's make this intro a little longer. Here he is, as Curtis Krieger, the embattled veteran and a former drug addict. Please welcome Ross Bryant.
Well, what an intro.
Rhetorician,
right? Yeah. Rhetorician.
I had it.
Yeah.
I often stretch farther than my vocabulary will allow me.
Man.
Probably a great quality for a game master. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I realize that this is normally the time when I go off on some esoteric or occult tangent, yes. But this is Easter. He is risen, and Easter isn't the time to bring up paganism or
Happy Easter, Xbox.
That's right, Usher. It's important to remember the reason for the season.
That's right. Easter has nothing to do with paganism whatsoever.
Not a bit. These are my confessions.
Is that I remember one time I saw Usher Raymond playing in Bryant Park in New York.
Wow.
Just dancing his ass off. I was just like walking to work because they would do Good Morning America concerts. You know, have you ever walking to work and then you catch out of the corner of your eye like 14 people in all white dancing in unison?
Yeah, it's typical.
I was like, wow, it's a flash mob. And then I got a little closer and I was like, oh, it's Usher Raymond.
Oh, it's only Usher.
Great story. I think we all agree. Let's bring in our next player. She is a fantastic actor and role player. And she is a dedicated Christian whom it will simultaneously be streaming into her church while streaming into the game. I don't know where I'm going with these intros today. We love her. Please welcome as Jen Brown, the CEO and sometimes troubled Anarch leader Please welcome Ashley Burch.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. I'm so brain dead from this pandemic that Clint showed us that Usher clip before we started. And then he did that whole thing of like, we're Hollywood insiders. And I was like, oh, I wonder who they got to say Happy Easter.
What is this
I completely, not 2 minutes prior, had he played us that Usher clip. And I was like, oh, I wonder who it's going to be.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Clint always surprises me. Something weird comes on the screen, and I'm like, "Oh, what a nice surprise!" I get to be surprised too. Well, welcome, Ashley. Are you enjoying the springtime? Are you enjoying the new bloom and the new little baby animals that are running around?
Oh, yes. Like this one weird one that I can't. You're going to get another like weird cattail. Just be aware. She's
Great.
wandering around getting into mischief over here.
We love it when they cameo on our stream.
Yes, Happy Easter. If you celebrate, what better way to celebrate?
What better way than celebrate than with Lucius commanding Jen to kill?
In the true spirit of Easter.
Yeah, in the true spirit of Easter. Speaking of Lucius, let's bring this guy in. He is a fantastic actor you can see on HBO Max. He makes bold choices in the game, which often scare the shit out of all of us, but we love him for it. As Lucius Ali, the vampire with a vision and medical doctor's degree. Please welcome Abu Salim, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Oh,
How's everyone doing? I can't shake off this laughter of the Happy Easter. I can't do it.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
Who is that? Who does that go to?
Who is that for?
A boardroom in Microsoft watching it with like a basket of eggs in front of them. I don't understand.
It's so good.
I like to think at Xbox headquarters it was like, now the bonuses are not coming through this Easter, but in lieu of that, we did get you this. Kyle, can you play the?
Happy Easter, Xbox.
I like to
right.
imagine he's just saying Happy Easter to the physical
Dude.
Xbox.
Oh my
To a
god!
physical
Absolutely.
Xbox.
It just lingers. It just lingers on his face for too long. Sorry.
The little like,
oh
okay.
man.
Well, if it happens 3 more times, that'll be too many. But we certainly earned the amount of times we've shown it already. Usher, happy Easter to you wherever you are, and happy Easter, Xbox, and happy Easter to all of the Vampires of Pittsburgh viewers out there this morning. Are you guys ready to? Well, we'll ease in. We'll slowly set the mood because I know we're in a kind of a happy Easter place. So, are you guys ready to play?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All
let's do it.
right. Welcome to a world even darker than the world outside your door right now. A year ago, these vampires broke the Masquerade. There were consequences. The Inquisition has taken over the city. Pittsburgh is burning. The Camarilla has gone to ground. And it's just madness out there. Your friends are dead, staked, decapitated, dusted. Enemies are everywhere. This is lockdown, and here we are. We're going to do a brief recap to kind of ease us into where we are right now because we are at a high climactic moment in the game. I might even have to go to Curtis for a little while just to give everybody a chance to think about what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, he's in a good place.
Last time, or the last couple sessions after the defeat of Buddy, a kind of independent vampire that the group had sort of, in essence, freed from the Camarilla installation at Washington's Landing. After he made some aggressive moves against the Coterie, they destroyed him and they had to change their haven because they brought the Inquisition that's very much all over Pittsburgh right now down on them. And they barely escaped from Steel City Tanning. And they went to the old Tremere Haven at Economy Village, their new haven for right now. But when they moved there was one member of their extended group, Circe, who was kind of unhappy with some of the decisions that had been made. She wanted to listen to Buddy's offer of alliance, The others wanted to remove Buddy's head from his body. And that disagreement led to Circe grabbing an arcane tome that Jen Brown had recently acquired, one that perhaps has some very important information, not only about blood sorcery and increasing Jen's like alchemical powers and blood sorcery powers, but also it's about Galconda. It's a book called The Passion of Salo that explains this sort of path of balance that vampires might follow in order to, I don't know, not lose their humanity, have it go down to 4, and constantly be killing people, turning into monsters. So Circe made off with this book, and the rest of the coterie decided to find out where she went. So it took 2 nights of investigation and planning and kind of regrouping and resting. But you did find her. While all this was going on, Lucius Ali was very generous and decided to spend some of his resources dots to sort of fund this new haven, and gave a bunch of money to Sabrina, Jen Brown's touchstone, who's recently been pulled back into the group, but whom still has a blood bond to one of the Camarilla leading vampires, Sonia. So they're trying to break that blood bond, and they're being very careful with Sabrina. And Lucius gave a bunch of money to Craig, Curtis's touchstone, who, as we know, has a drug addiction. So you gave a bunch of money to someone who was drug addicted. Is indeed right. Throat clear is appropriate at that moment. And he went off, and he had a pretty bad relapse. Oh, by the way, Vampires of Pittsburgh is an adult show, and adult stuff happens sometimes. Just FYI. So when you found him, Curtis, Craig was all strung out on the floor of like a kind of a drug den in the Southside Flats district of Pittsburgh. You managed to save him from people that were turning over his pockets, but save is maybe not the right word, because you slaughtered them. Craig saw this. He came to as you were doing it, and he ran off into the night, terrified of you, as well he should be. Meanwhile, Jen Brown, the gargoyle, and Clara, Lucius's touchstone and little sister, who is younger, human, much more fragile, and much more brave than every other character in the game. They did find Circe and some crust punks that seem to be kind of like hanging out in a closed-up Taekwondo studio. There was a confrontation with Circe. Both Circe and Lucius used mind powers on each other. Circe was sort of subdued, like put into kind of a half-trance sleep by Lucius's mesmerism. But Circe managed to use dementation on Lucius and awaken Lucius's compulsion, his ventral compulsion of arrogance, which he is still in the grips of, Abu, because it lasts for a scene. The only thing that can kind of end a compulsion sometimes, if I'm a nice storyteller, is if you give a command and someone follows it, it might fulfill that sort of need that rises up from the beast inside of Lucius. And it can't be a supernatural command, because that's cheating. It's got to be someone really doing as you command them to do. So in this moment, Lucius and Jen and Circe were there. Lucius was feeding on Circe. Jen was trying to stop him. She offered some of her own blood, which Lucius did partake in. And then the next thing he did was look into Jen Brown's eyes and command Jen Brown to kill, feed on, kill. You said kill, right, Abu?
I said kill. Yes, I said you kill her.
Lucius Ali has looked into Jen Brown's eyes and said, "You kill her," talking about Circe. And you know what? I am gonna stick with this scene. I am gonna take us straight to the cliffhanger. Take your time. Feel free to talk it through a little bit. You can meta game if you'd like, but let's find out what happens right now.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
So the first thing that Lucius told me to do was to look for the book, which I did do.
Mm-hmm.
So I
and
did
you did
follow
find it.
And I did find it. And I did follow one of his commands because it coincided with my own desires. So is his arrogance still in full effect?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Lucius Ali, you can roll. By the way, nobody gets any willpower back. Okay, so wherever you were left last time.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Now, maybe at the end of the scene you will, but we left right in a cliffhanger. So, Lucius, whatever willpower you have left that hasn't been used up, if you think that Lucius is resisting his arrogance compulsion right now, I'm going to allow you to roll it. This isn't exactly how it works in the book, but it's how it's going to work in this scene, okay? But because you are humanity 4, and which means your compulsions sometimes feel stronger, and because you are currently in the grips of a dementation power as well, tell me how many dice you have to roll for willpower right now.
So for willpower, I have 5.
Okay, so you still have 5 dice, but I only want you to roll 3. I'm taking off one for your humanity 4 and one for your... Okay. Yeah, Jen Brown. Yeah.
Could I also say something to him before he rolls to see if it helps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So he just told me to kill Cersei. So.
And she's kind of Cersei's kind of there between you. And she's kind of like half awake and kind of like, she's just like, you can tell he's made her hungry by feeding on her, because that's what happens when you feed on vampires. So in her kind of trance, she's kind of like become like a full animal, like reaching out for some kind of sustenance. And you say,
Jen looks at Lucius, just sort of stunned for a second that he told her to do that, and then says, "What's your plan here, Lucius? You want to change the way things are done? You have these grand desires to create a new civilization? What is what you're asking me to do any different than what Buddy was going to ask us to do? We destroyed him because he told us that we would have to give up one of our own. Cersei is one of mine. I've known her longer than you. She's had my back. She came with us on the front lines. For you, for me. And because she's unpredictable, I get that. But so are you. So's Curtis, all of us. What comes next? When someone steps a foot out of line, are you going to make me kill them too? Where does it end? You say you want to be different than them. You're acting exactly the same as every other fucking Camarilla that I've ever met.
Lucius Ali, you can take an extra die for that.
Okay.
If you think it sways your character, which I mean, I'm convinced, you can take an extra die for that.
Yeah. Okay, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Narrate what you do. Narrate what you would like to do in this moment.
So I think it's a mixture, right? And I think I'm as she's telling me this, and then she tells me how the unpredictability and then also the fact that she has also betrayed us and so quickly turned heel. And I think in my head, I'm still fighting this feeling of trying to control, but at the same time, then I think this wash of reality hits of like how it is to be controlled, to be commanded to do something that you didn't want to do. And it hits me, and I sort of move back a bit and then sort of let go of everyone. And I look at Cersei and I look at Jen. What's going on? Where was I? I felt I had no control. What did she do to me?
I don't know. But you're okay now. You're okay.
I felt this feeling of such power, such false pride, such fuck. And I'm going to look at Cersei and what's she doing at the moment?
She's still in the grips of your mesmerism, so she's stopped kind of begging for blood, and she's just kind of like,
We need to get her. We need to get her away from me, please, because I feel like I'm going to do something stupid. It's there, Jen. It's there. It's there.
Go to Clara. Go to Clara. She's outside. Okay? I'll meet you there.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go straight towards to the door to go see if Clara's okay.
you go out back, and you find that Clara you come through the back door that you guys kind of snuck in through. And as you're doing that, you realize that, excuse me, as you're doing that, you're thinking about what just happened to you, obviously. And you realize that what happened was not really that Circe made you do that it was something she kind of unlocked inside you and just kind of let loose. And that perhaps is even more troubling than, even the idea that she kind of commanded you, is that she kind of just pushed a button inside you, Lucius, and that bloomed out of your beast. But as you're kind of contemplating this, you come through the back door. You see Clara, who, if you'll remember, critted trying to stop the escaping human gutter punk. Clara is standing over the young woman that she tripped or stopped on her way out the door. But in the alley with her are 3 other dangerous looking young humans who are all in natty leather jackets. They've got neck tattoos and they all look like Circe, basically, different versions of her. There is 2 men and a woman, and then the woman on the ground, of course.
Yeah.
And they are kind of all confronting Clara. And when you walk out, Clara looks at you because she was about to be in a fight with 3 other people.
Yeah. Okay.
Jen Brown, I'm gonna let you think about that for a second. Jen Brown, what are you going to do?
So can Circe hear me?
Yeah, she probably can. She's not unconscious. And when a scene ends, her mesmerism may end. And we can kind of say that the scene is about to end unless there's something you want to say to her while she's still in this state, because she's slowly starting to awaken from it.
Okay, I'm going to the gargoyle's on top of the building, right?
That is correct, as far as you know.
Okay.
You hear scratching treads above you. Ceiling's not that thick.
I'm gonna position myself at the door so that if something goes awry, I can just sprint out. But I'm going
the back door, right? Because the front of the place is all boarded up. And okay, great.
But I'm gonna say to her, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't condone what he did. And I know you've got a lot of issues with me and with everyone else. I consider you part of our team, our fucked up family, whatever you want to call it. We got rid of Buddy because he was going to make us choose to give up one of our own. And I don't want to ever make that choice again. So I want you to know that if you want to come back, you're not going to be manipulated by any of us. You're going to have your say, and you'll be taken care of. And if you want to stay, I won't force you to come.
She kind of during the course of your speech slowly locks eyes with you, comes out of her trance and locks eyes with you, and she goes, "He's a problem, Jen Brown.
I know.
I didn't do anything to him he didn't want to do. That's who he is, deep down. He likes to control people.
And who are you deep down, Cersei?
I don't want to control people. I want to set them free.
So do I.
Right. Well, you got your book. So why don't you just leave me with my people? I'm fine here. I don't need you. I don't need your soldier. And I sure the fuck don't need that doctor.
Okay. I'll leave you here. But if you need help, ever, you can always come to us. And I leave.
Great. Lucius.
Oh,
You're muted, Jared.
Jared, we left. We lost you.
Oh no.
Unplug his mic. Ooh.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
That's a great way to cover technical
Oh,
difficulties.
bless you, Clint.
Am I back?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
yes.
you're back.
It's an Easter miracle.
I gotta duct tape that in. I literally, my hand moved. I got so excited. My hand moved, and then it was just Lucius.
Yeah.
In this moment, you walk out, and there's these three crust punks confronting Clara, and their friend is on the ground. Their friend is not knocked out. Clara wasn't able to knock her unconscious, but her friend is hurt, laying there, What do you do?
Is there anyone coming up to Clara? Is there anyone quite close to Clara? In
Oh yeah,
to
they're
a place
close
or
to her. They're clearly making an aggressive stance, moving toward her.
Then I'm gonna kind of go up to the biggest one there, and just kind of use almost my soaring leap, but in a way of pushing him away to kind of go back the fuck off.
Yeah,
Very much kind of British lad way of I'll fucking do your nutting.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's do this. As you approach, the girl who's still on her feet is careful, Buck, he's a lick, and then you're just using your leap. So let's see how much control you're able to use here. You're using a vampiric discipline to kind of leap at him with this incredible power and speed. Give me a roll. Give me a strength plus brawl roll. I want you to add a die for your potence.
Okay.
We're
So I'm
gonna
at 2
see.
potence.
Add 2 die. Go ahead and add 2 die for this. Yeah, if you're using your leap to push someone, I think that it would count. I think that it would be incorporated.
3 successes.
3 successes is thank God not enough to really, really badly hurt this guy.
Okay.
You leap at him and he goes wham hard back into the other side of the alley and kind of you knock the air out of him and you do 3. Oh, give me a break. You do 3 damage to him, but it's superficial. It's not enough to kill him, thank God. And he just is kind of completely shaken and slumps to the ground with the air knocked out of him. And the other gutter punks are fuck, and they just run.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Clara and be
and that's when Jen Brown walks out.
Look at Clara and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, of course I'm okay. I had that handled, by the way, Luce. You didn't have to do the magic vampire shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of look at Clara and grin and be like, shall we? And head into the car. And then I'm gonna kind of to Gargi and have motion for him to follow us.
Great.
I'm gonna kind of get Jen and be like, "Where is Cersei?"
She's staying.
Okay. And then sort of follow.
Great. So unfortunately, it looks like one of your number distrusts you, is not willing to go back with you, but you did procure the book and perhaps a lesson about on life. Meanwhile, Curtis Krieger, I'm going to say that the hours of the night are now waning. What is Curtis's goal? Is he going to go try to track down Well, there's a lot of complications here, Curtis.
Yeah.
Curtis, when you frenzied, you took on the Gangrel Clan Bane, which is you now have. You described it as full werewolf face, basically. Like you've almost got like a snout and like woven features, huge ears right now. And on top of that, there is a guy downstairs with your dog. There is a abattoir of bodies up here on this like landing of this abandoned squat. And Craig is, he's in the wind. He's in the wind. So how do you handle this? What would you like to do?
And the daylight is coming.
I'm not going to say fast approaching, but I just want to kind of move our timeline a little farther. So I'd say, you have like 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours.
Yeah, I kind of feel like after having seen how Craig reacted to me, maybe chasing him down is not the best thing to do. I almost want to call Ruby to me first and foremost.
Okay. Oh, well, you can do that easily. She is your familus. So, perhaps outside the guy's like petting her, and suddenly she's like, and then like darts off into the building, and he's like, "What the fuck?" But soon she is through the door, and people might judge you, but Ruby never does. She's sort of moving around and just sniffing all these dead bodies, and then she kind of looks up at you quizzically and does that dog sideways head thing that they do. And
I'm totally like kind of same energy.
Okay, she's kind of like sniffing your face. Boy, I end up playing animals so much in these games. She's like kind of sniffing your face. You guys are kind of communicating the way dogs do right now.
We're communicating through like olfactory methods.
Yeah,
and she can maybe smell the anxiety on me. And I feel like going out like this is just a cause for trouble. I want to look around this place to see if there's a spot where I can like hide nearby. This is a crumbling building. Are there like rafters I could creep up into? Is there like a closet or something I could barricade myself in?
What a very interesting idea. And I think that I want a survival roll from you. A survival roll. And you can use your wits with that survival roll if you'd like.
Great. And I have no hunger right now. Is that right?
I think you can go 0 for now. You've drained those people completely. Yes.
3 successes.
More than enough for you to find what you think is a quite secure, like kind of closet that you can kind of like, this is an old abandoned building. There's like old shelving that you can kind of like wedge up against the inside of the thing so that the door doesn't come open easily. You're kind of catching the doorknob, and it's very like black as night in here.
And that's so comforting to me. And I do that, and I bring Ruby with me. And I think now is the time where I like the claw comes out, and I'm like, and I feed her.
Okay, great.
So she's not antsy during the day.
Feeding Brad was always sort of disturbing, and his need was so all-consuming to see him taken over by it. But feeding Ruby, it's especially in your current state, it's kind of comforting. Ruby doesn't like latch onto you. Ruby just kind of goes. It just happens. She just happens to be like lapping up your blood, right? So give me a rouse roll to see if that makes you any hungrier.
All right. It does not.
Okay, great. So I think that you're a little bit comforted. And am I to understand this is where you will be spending the day?
Yes. And maybe before, if I have the presence of mind to do so, I might text Jen and just be like, won't be home, Craig, AWOL.
Okay. I would like to know from Jen Brown and Lucius and Clara and the Gargoyle. Where are you heading now? Are you heading back to Economy Village, or is there any other business you have before the night is out?
I think back to the Haven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so you head back to the Haven, and Jen Brown, you might think, as you're heading back, that the loss of Circe is interesting because she's one of the vampires that cared for you when you were in torpor for a year. But I mean, to editorialize a little bit, you handled her pretty fairly. I could tell that you were leaving the door open for her. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But it is kind of it's kind of a loss because she is someone who cared for you in your time of need. Now it is about to be daytime. So unless anybody has any special preparations, I'm about to make some rolls to see what's happening out in the city.
I think that before I go to bed, I think I'm gonna just sort of look at Jen, and ask to kind of talk to her privately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lucius will be like, you know, so I think he will look around himself and be kind of like, you asked me a question, and it's stuck with me. What I want. The thing is, Jen, I have a feeling that we both want the same thing, but we're both probably approaching it in complete opposite ways and different. And look, what do you want, Jen?
I want a better way. Before we knew you, we tried to take down the Camarilla. And to be honest, if we had succeeded, I'm not convinced that we would have replaced it with anything better. I was doing the same things that I hated that they were doing to me. I didn't choose this. You didn't choose this. But now that we are what we are, we have a choice. We can keep becoming monsters and keep falling deeper into darkness, or we can use this curse that we've been given to try and make things safer, better for the people that we care about. I don't want to dominate people anymore. I don't want power. I just want safety and as close as we can come to peace. And I don't know if it's achievable, but I've tried the other way. And it led to this.
Right. Well, at least that confirms to me that we're on the same page. But there is something that I've learned during my travels, that sometimes the peaceful way of doing things, especially in the times that we are in today, isn't necessarily the best way. I am not about power as much as my sister believes me to be. It's only a way of, not necessarily to be in control, but we live in a world where only the strongest survive. But it's about the people, about the people who are the strongest, but who also have good intentions. That's my belief. Now, of course, I can't do this on my own. Now, this is something that I'm very aware of. I'm not gonna cure the world of cancer. I need people, a group, a team, and I'm aware that this has come to me while being with you. And yes, I've made stupid choices. and stupid decisions, and possibly even endangered Clara, even through the actions that I do. But the point is, Jen, is that I am so aware that the idea of either avoiding or being passive will not get us anywhere.
But you're not in control, are you?
Who is?
Lucius. Cersei told me, and I think you know it too. She didn't put anything in your brain. She unlocked something that's in there already. This is your home, if you want it to be. But you don't have to be controlled by your beast.
Who says the beast controls me, Jen?
As Lucius says this, you can tell he looks, pretty beastly. He's humanity 4, so he looks pretty rough. Sorry, I want to contradict you. I don't think that Lucius is controlled by it, but
this isn't the first time we've had this conversation, Lucius. You apologizing for making a brash decision. I'm not trying to chastise you, but I'm trying to say there's a different way. I think I may have found it. And if you'll let me.
What? What do you mean?
There's a reason I wanted this book.
Right.
It can help us. Take back control over this thing that's inside of us.
Thana enters. Sorry, she interrupts you. And she is like, Jen Brown, you have the book?
Yeah.
Allow me to look.
How much more time until daylight?
I think you still have a little time, and especially you, Jen Brown. You can stay up an hour past dawn now.
Okay. I think I'm going to tell Thana I'd like to hang on to it for now. I can spend more time with it. Reading it. I haven't had much time to look at it.
Okay. Well, this is okay. I didn't know. I just thought you wanted to have something nice to read. Okay. Right. Well, if you truly believe that this could make a change, this is fascinating. I've been looking also at the studies of the previous owner here, and I haven't quite cracked anything yet, but it is also something that's fascinating, because I feel that there was something within him that also wanted to change something. But sorry, I'm rambling. All right, Jen. All right. I mean, at least we're clear. And again, for the 100th time, thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to sort of awkwardly walk out.
Very good. If there's nothing else, I am going to have Dawn arrive.
Can I say that I read the book until I go to sleep?
Yes, you may. And
get through it.
Absolutely. And have you been you've been adding successes to a kind of a ongoing task of reading the book, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've had it to read it, so I don't.
That's true. It got stolen.
Remember.
You know what? Let's just start with 3 successes, okay? I think
Okay.
that you made at least that many. And I'm not going to tell you how many it takes to kind of absorb and understand, but go ahead and you can, before dawn hits or even after, and into the wee hours of the morning, you may roll your intelligence plus academics to continue to try to understand it.
Okay. Oh,
it's a very old book, and it's very strange. It's written in this sort of, mystical, sort of scriptural. I would compare it to old Buddhist sutras. So it can be a little bit challenging, but Jen Brown's a smart gal. How'd she do?
Could I potentially, before I start reading, do my little although Curtis isn't here to get me a rat or something. I'm just wondering if I have the ability to do my little diffractionate thing.
Sure. So
Hunger
to
3.
feed yourself. Oh, what a really smart idea. So we kind of established, at the old place you had some bagged blood. Curtis isn't here.
Shit, actually. No, you've just reminded. That was one thing that I wanted. I wanted to send Clara on like a mission to get sustenance for us in a way, because you said that we lost our blood bags, right? And I think that's something that she was during the day. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Let's see how Clara did. She's pretty good at this kind of stuff. Let's see how she does. Yeah. So Clara, she does well. She gets 2 successes.
I love her.
She hasn't really brought like piles and piles of stock. She kind of got 1 blood bag back to the place in like an old like styrofoam cooler. So Jen Brown, you could defractionate that for yourself and feed on that if you'd like.
I would like.
I'm not going to bother with you rolling to diffractionate. You've become pretty good at it. So you're kind of like doing your alchemy while you're like kind of also reading the book, Great illustration idea. Anybody out there who wants it? And you do this and you may remove, I'm afraid, only 1 of your hunger for that, but good move on your part. And then I would like you to, would you like to rouse to do like, as Lucius did before, like make yourself like your brain go faster and read it faster and absorb more? It could give you more dice.
Yes, I will do that, and I will get hungrier.
Oh, you got hungrier. Oh my God. Okay. Well, at least you're not at 4. You're at 3.
Yeah.
So you blood surge. You get a little hungrier. You add a die to your roll for your intelligence plus academics to understand the book.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. It's not a lot. If you haven't finished reading the book, you don't fully understand all of it. But I am going to go ahead and give you a reward. Okay, I think that you worked so hard to get this damn book back. You at least deserve to get a lore sheet dot. What's a lore sheet dot, storyteller Jared? Well, there are these backgrounds, and this would go in the background section of your sheet called lore sheets, and they give you various advantages based on setting elements. And your lore sheet is called Galconda, Golconda, Galconda. And you have heard of Galconda and can educate others on its nature without seeming like a total amateur. Once per story, you can ask the storyteller for guidance before taking an action, and they will tell you if that action will jeopardize the chance of pursuing Galconda. Jen Brown's already pretty good at figuring that out, but now you can ask me. You can go, wait a second, is this going to hurt my path, my progression in my Galconda path? And I will let you know.
And do I get like a dot in Galconda?
That's right. It's called Lore Sheet Galconda, and you'd put it in like your background section of your sheet, which here I can help you even find what page that is.
It's just the first one, right? Or is it?
It's it's on the first one. Yeah, it is, right? Okay. And so Jen Brown, you're not a total amateur at this now. You've absorbed enough to kind of know the basics of it.
Okay, great.
And now the sun comes up. Jen Brown, with a book like kind of over her, becomes like a corpse clutching a book. Lucius Ali, his sister, watches him as he like kind of freezes into a corpse in his bed in a closet in a squat in Southside Flats. Yeah.
It's like walking in a circle. It's like getting just the right.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And now some dice are rolled to see what's happening out in the city. Well, you guys tried to kind of stop it from happening for a while. Tried to kind of trying to keep us busy, but now bad things might be happening. Okay. Very interesting. All right. And on the other side of things.
On the other side.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, guys.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, I just have to make one more decision.
Oh God.
This is the person who's dying today.
Okay. So
Who do I want to kill?
let's start with Curtis Krieger because he's in the most awkward situation. Dusk falls. You awaken, and you can just feel that the heat of the outer world has changed. You know, like it feels a little colder when you awaken. Ruby is licking your face again, like, and you awaken to complete and utter darkness. It's still utterly dark in here.
Do I hear anything outside the barricade?
You do not. But I love that you're being extra cautious after I've rolled a bunch of dice.
I think he'd be cautious anyway. Like, but yeah, and yeah, I slowly take off the barricade and crack the door.
You see the bodies of the men you slew the evening before. They're more decomposed. There are flies buzzing around them. The blood has dried and hardened onto the floor. It is an even grislier scene with the decomposition than it was before.
And I feel my face, and how monstrous am I after some rest?
Interesting. I think that less monstrous, but still not able to just use the blush of life to look normal. Like you still have some feral features.
Okay. So these guys are just like shredded. It's like a bomb went off in here. And okay, so Ruby and I think would make our way downstairs.
Very good.
And being stealthy and trying not to come upon anyone.
Great. I mean, the man who had your dog before is gone. Who knows if he found your murder or if he's gone off to say something, but or if maybe he never even came upstairs. You don't know. But he is currently not there. You can see people out on the street. Someone walking by, kind of, chatting with their friends. But this isn't like a super busy thoroughfare. It's a couple streets back from the main thoroughfare.
Okay. And how far am I from the Haven? Would you say, like, how many miles?
I could actually almost tell you exactly, but let's kind of just spitball it. I would say that you can walk there in a night and within an hour.
Oh, okay.
Then we're still in Pittsburgh proper. You're not on the outskirts or anything.
Then I think I would like to keep to the shadows as best I can and stealthily try to cover that distance.
Great. Give me a stealth roll. And you can use your wits plus stealth.
Great. With mit dog. Here we go. 2, 3. Oh boy. Let me see. And I just feel so full and satisfied.
Oh yeah, I mean, what really happens when you feed the way you did, and what's kind of horrible about it is you feel alive again, right? Mm-hmm. Like you don't feel like this hollowed out, like moving corpse. Like you feel like your organs are operating. You feel like the biological processes you used to feel when you were alive, moving within you because you are flush with blood.
All right, I get a little bit hungrier with the willpower spend I just made to get 3 successes.
Wait, you made you were just rolling a stealth roll, right?
That's right. And I got 2, and I spent a willpower to and rolled my remaining dice to bump it up to, and then rolled again and got 3.
Great. I just didn't want to. You don't actually get hungrier. You just lose some of your will.
Oh, great.
And willpower doesn't make you get hungrier. You just lose some of your will when you spend a reroll. And can you just describe how you're being stealthy on your way back to Economy Village? Oh, actually, I was thinking of Steel City Tanning. You're walking to Economy Village. Well, I told you an hour. It's going to be a bit more than that.
Okay.
But yeah, you're walking all the way to Economy Village. It's going to take a little while. But how's it going? Like, tell me exactly what you're doing.
I want to be going into like alleys and
great,
like under awnings, popping the suit, like closing up the suit as much as possible to hide the massive like blood stain that's on the shirt. And
how many successes did you get?
3.
Okay. You're in an
and I'll say this: I'd like to also keep my eyes peeled for anyone who's wearing someone about roughly Curtis sized. Who's maybe wearing some more concealing garments, like a hoodie, for example.
Wait. Oh, of course. You actually find someone who is roughly Curtis size in an alleyway, and they are wearing kind of like a big coat, and kind of like leaning against like the corner where the alley kind of lets out into a street again.
Okay. Great. I roll up on him.
Mm-hmm. He throws his hood back and looks over at you, and you see he has a cell phone in his hand, and it's Bob.
What?
And then behind you, you hear footsteps.
And
what?
Curtis just like, you motherfucker. And
yep, it's Bob. Let's show our friend Bob. There he is. And he's, he hasn't used the blush of life, so he's pale like a vampire. And he's in this big heavy coat, and he's holding a cell phone. And behind you, you hear footsteps, Lucius. I mean, sorry, Curtis.
Don't do that to me, man.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I leap forward. I attempt, and I'm going to try to like swat this phone out of his hand. Actually, no, fuck that. I've got a friend. I want Ruby to like take his wrist while I like get him like hostage, headlock him, and as I whip around to face who's ever coming at me from behind.
Great. It's Bob, so don't even bother to roll. Ruby like, and he's like, fuck. And then, you can get him in the headlock and spin him around. Actually, just so we know how well it's going, could you please give me that sounds like a dexterity plus brawl to me. Can you roll that?
Yes, I would love to. Great.
I believe it's Bob.
Oh, you prick. 4 successes.
4 successes is really well. So you have him in like this complete headlock, and he's like, the phone is out of his hand, and he's like this. But you spin around to see a beautiful woman walking toward you. She looks sort of familiar, and she wears 2 huge K-bar knives on either hip. And behind her is Bex.
Oh,
the
howdy,
current
friend.
Sheriff. Yeah, the current sheriff of Pittsburgh. Yes. Bex, drawn by our own Ross Bryant, and also 2 ghouls, it looks like, because they look human, but we'll go ahead and say you can assume they're ghouls because you're dealing with the Camaria's basic strike team right here.
Me.
And the woman, she's wearing a big plague mask, but she kind of takes it off, and she looks at you, and she is Curtis Krieger.
Yeah.
Would you release my friend, please? We're just here to talk.
Just gonna look at you. Got an interesting choice of friends. Long time no see, Bob. How's tricks, pal?
I mean, the things aren't good. They're not good.
Shut the fuck up.
Curtis
I do kind of
Krieger.
miss Bob.
Bob is a loyal citizen of the Camarilla now. And if you hurt him, well, my friends and I might be forced to hurt you.
All right,
Let him
then.
go.
It sounds like we have an understanding then. Because there's nothing that we need to say to each other.
On the contrary, I think that we need to have a long talk. And I want you to know that I have teams posted across the street outside the alley over there. I have a team in a van back there. You're completely surrounded. There's absolutely no benefit in running. You will be caught and you will be hurt if you attempt to escape right now. She's very beautiful and she's telling you the truth. She's definitely telling you the truth. In fact, you're starting to become very certain that she is your friend and that she wants to help you.
Anything I can do to resist that?
Yeah, I think that you should. Could you please roll your composure plus your wits?
That's the thing about the Brits; they're so convincing.
I don't even want to buff this with willpower because the dice just spoke one success.
Oh God.
Not enough. Not enough. So she's like, we want to talk to you and to your coterie.
Fuck.
Oh no.
We're here to help you. She gets very close to you. I need you to tell me where I can find Lucius Salim.
Mm-hmm.
There she is.
Dang.
Isabel Collins, the Camarilla
Love it.
Archon. Yes, she's dressed like she's in Assassin's Creed because she's fucking that good. That's who she is. Yes, that's who she is, man. Beautiful, but very dead and very deadly.
Oh God.
no.
Okay.
You can now see her. She's like, it looks like you've had some trouble. We can help with that. She opens your suit a little bit and looks at the bloodstains.
I would like to, if I can, as one last bit of will, I want Ruby to run away. I want Ruby to run back to Economy Village.
Yeah, and now I'm going to roll for Ruby to see how noticeable this is. Ruby doesn't bark. Ruby doesn't do anything but backs up the way a dog does and then is gone around the corner. And you realize that Bob and the ghouls and the Archon and Bex aren't even paying attention to Ruby.
Oh,
So the dog is gone.
Good girl.
Why did you say good girl? No, I'm just that was a character thought, obviously.
Oh fuck. Yeah. That's
You'll come back with us.
do I have a choice?
You want to, don't you? You want us to help you. What happened? What happened? What caused this? She points at the bloodstains.
How and is that ongoing? Am I compelled to?
Yeah, let's read the letter of the law here and make sure you know how much control that you have. So this is presence that she's using on you. It's more of an emotional control than it is sort of a Lucius's dominate thing that he does, where you have to follow the instructions. This says let me see. It's I'm going to bring it up, but I think that you are really enamored with her right now, and you think that she is your friend and that she's shooting you straight. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that you have to give away every bit of information unless she asks you. But she's right now. I mean, she is asking you right now what happened back there? Tell me. I'll help you.
Let's just say it was a rough night last night.
So you are in rapt fascination in an infatuation akin to falling head over heels in love or meeting one's lifelong idol.
Oh,
Whoa.
no.
Okay.
You will do your best to remain in the vampire's good graces, but you will stop short of causing yourself or other loved ones physical harm.
Okay.
So interpret that how you will, but she's like,
okay.
Tell me what happened to you. I just want to help.
It was a rough night last night, okay?
Where? What happened?
Some fucking shooting gallery up the street, okay?
What's the
There's a lot of bad people poisoning this city, okay?
I know. We want to stop that. We want to get this city back under control. Give me the address of this shooting gallery.
And I do, to the best of my knowledge.
And when you do, she's like putting things into a phone and telling someone something. She's like, good. We're going to make that all go away. It's very important to be quiet right now, don't you think?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dangerous people about.
It's a crazy time. It's why you shouldn't be associated with fucking rats like this guy here.
Oh, Bob's not so bad. Actually, he clearly is no threat to you. Why don't you let him go? It would make me happy.
And I kind of take him off the hold and just and push him away.
And he goes, I mean, I know I don't breathe, but it felt. And she's like, shut up. And he's like, right. Okay. So, where can I find Lucius Ali and Jen Brown? Where can we find them? We'd like to talk to them too.
I don't want to tell her, but
and I think that this is a case where you could make the argument that you feel that she will hurt them. So,
yep.
You're not going to tell her?
No, unless I have to. But I think under these circumstances, it's like I'm sorry. I wish I don't run with them no more.
You're gonna lie to her.
Yeah.
Give me a manipulation plus subterfuge roll, and you need 4 successes.
These are not my strong suits.
You might want to surge then.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, and surging would give me 1 more die.
In your case, you've gotten up to blood potency 2. It would give you more than 1 more die. It would give you, I think, 2.
Well, that would not get me up to. That would get me up to 3 die. So even if I got a complete success, I couldn't succeed.
In fact, you are rolling on something that you were untrained in, right? Subterfuge, you were untrained?
That's right.
Okay, then that takes away a die. So,
so I could surge and roll 2 die, and that's it?
That's it, buddy.
Okay,
You're trying to lie to somebody who has
I'm desperately trying to lie, so the surge seems real, and and I rouse for that, right?
That's right.
Okay, I get hungrier.
Okay. God. You're using your blood to resist her in this alleyway.
I'm sure this is all very not noticeable. And great. After all that, so I'm sorry, I don't run with them no more. And 1 success.
Right. She's like, oh, that's too bad. I hate it when friendships break up. But darling, I can tell that you're not telling me the whole truth. Let's bring him back to the landing. You're going to come with us, yes, Curtis? Come. I want you two to go to the site he mentioned and try to clean things up. A van is kind of backing into the alley as she's talking. Get in, honey.
Yeah. And I kind of like put my hands up, and I'm just kind of watching Bob walk away, like, I will fucking kill you. And
Okay.
but as soon, or I don't say that. I think he just sees it in the eyes.
He
But as
gets
soon as
the
I
passenger
see
seat of the van.
her, I'm just like, yeah, and I get in.
We're gonna put a zip tie on you, okay? It's just for your own safety. All right? I'll put it on. Give it to me. I'll put it on you. Here you
You don't
go.
need to do that.
God.
You don't need to do that.
It's kind of kinky, isn't it?
Oh my
Oh no, I'm not
Just
really.
a joke. Just a joke, Kurt.
It's
Get
not my.
inside.
It's not my thing.
All right, so now you're in the back of this van. You're zip tied. There is one ghoul in there with you. She sent the other one off to help whoever's cleaning up the site of your indiscretion. And Bob is in the front seat with her, and she's driving. And the van starts moving off into the night. Lucius, and by the way, the effects of the power start to fade. Okay, so
Okay.
now that she's in the front seat, she's not talking to you. Now that the scene is kind of over, so you're zip tied in the back of a locked van with a ghoul guard, and they're driving you to Washington's Landing. It sounds like. Okay. Meanwhile, Lucius and Jen.
Oh, God.
Time is going to pass before the dog gets here. So rouse as you awaken for the night.
Oh, Christ. I'm gonna be so hungry. Okay. That's
Not
fine.
hungry yet. I'm okay.
Okay. Where are you at? Hunger 4, Jen Brown?
3.
3. Okay. You're feeling it. So another night, new opportunities. You have received Curtis Krieger's text that what exactly did you send her again, Curtis? You said something to her when you were having. Oh, you're not coming home tonight, is what you told her.
Yeah, he said that Craig's AWOL.
Yeah, Craig's AWOL. So, you guys can decide. Perhaps you talk, and all of the NPCs are available to you. Who's left is Thana, Dylan, and Sabrina,
And Clara, right?
and Clara. Yes. Mhm.
God, we're down to so few vampires now. Okay. So we wake up. I see that text from Curtis. I think I'll try texting him, not knowing that he's like stuck in a van. But
Great.
I think I would text
Here's how
him
I
and
want
be
to
like,
run the scene, and because I think that these players can play at an advanced level. What are you texting him?
Basically like just woke up, do you need help? I.e. finding Craig.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna cut to this is happening. Let's see. He woke and he traveled for a while. Actually, so things are a little tricky. I think that you got that text. What did you answer, Curtis, to that text when you were just kind of walking back to Economy Village?
Okay. And what was it again? Do I need help?
Yeah. Just woke up. Do you need help finding Craig?
Great. Headed back. Craig freaked. We'll deal with.
Okay.
Okay, so he says he's headed back. And so I think now you're kind of waiting for him to get back. And so time passes, and then more time passes, and he doesn't come back. And by the way, interrupt me at any point if you have some other kind of bit of business you'd like to take care of. For example, getting yourself fed. But right now, hours are passing as you wait for Curtis Krieger to return.
Can I just say that during those hours, I've probably just run straight to go and study some more because I'm very excited about what's been going on and what's been happening.
Yeah, absolutely. You may do that. And you need to give me another intelligence plus academics roll.
I'm also going to blood surge as well to add some die to that as well.
Good idea.
Okay. Do I get hungrier? Yes, I do. So that's 2 hunger. 5, 6, 9. 5 successes.
Ooh.
How many?
5.
Lucius Ali, I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 XP. And that 5 XP is to be used only for thin blood alchemy. No, actually, you can't do thin blood alchemy. It's only to be used for blood sorcery.
Okay.
And that's because you're looking over the notes of Dr. Orman, and anybody else could study these as well. And I don't know that it'll give you more than the first dot, but right now you have 5 XP to spend just on that if you wish.
Okay. And the first dot is okay. Cool. I'll do that now then.
Okay, I'm going to allow it, and let me tell you what kind of techniques are available to you. Okay. For just the first dot of blood sorcery, you could start figuring out how to do like the basic techniques that blood sorcery gives you. Let me find it, but we'll get back to it in just a second. Jen
Cool.
Brown, what are you doing?
I think at the beginning of the night, I'd probably check on Sabrina
Mm-hmm.
and see if she's made any headway with the Inquisition stuff.
She has made some headway. She is like, I think I've figured out who some of the people are.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people just kind of showed up in town recently, and they have a little bit of a digital footprint. So she pushes like these printouts to you that have like this French investigator named Dumanoir, and it has a lot of information about him and how he was in London, and perhaps with your interactions with Lucius, that Lucius was there during some sort of huge vampire purge that happened in London a couple of years ago. So this guy was there during that time. He's older. He has a lot of experience, in certain places that kind of lead. Sabrina's like, look, this was like this huge thing where all of these buildings burnt down. Like, this guy has a lot of what you come to find out is hunting experience, right? And she also hands you a printout, like a dossier on this woman who is like a nun, who was kind of running with Dumanoir, and so you now have, when it becomes important, you now have like dossiers on some of these people. She gives you like a tech guy that's with them, and you realize that it's the guy that was communicating with you for a while. Father, forgive me. Yeah, like that guy is like working like their sort of Jen Brown role, like their Sabrina role, like he's like searching for people like via the internet. So yeah, Sister Mary, and this guy Connor, like these are the people that are kind of the party that you kind of came into contact with.
I'm gonna ask her. Well, I'm gonna tell her like, great job. This is awesome. And I want her to keep looking into this stuff, maybe even see if we can find like where they're based. But I wanted to ask her, when you were with the Camarilla, was there any kindred, any vampires that didn't seem to get along with Sonia or the powers that be? Was there any infighting?
Well, Buddy, they awakened Buddy, but he wouldn't help them. He wouldn't do what they asked, and they wouldn't let him leave. So Buddy?
Just Buddy?
Well, Erasmus was... I mean, Erasmus was an idiot. Like he was trying to help Sonia, but she ended up, I think rightly kind of getting pretty angry with him. And that's why he was kind of subject to trial. Yeah.
So just those two.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Sonia, like, she's such a strong leader, so she doesn't really keep a lot of enemies because she knows how to keep people happy. She kept me happy, very happy.
Right. Is there anything in the Golconda book that I read about that could help me with with Sabrina's blood bond?
Yeah, so there is. There is information that tell you exactly how blood bonds work in that book. It's kind of written in like a religious text, but each week away, I believe is. Let me make sure. But there's like specific rules on how this works, and now you will know them. You will know exactly how this works. Let me see here. Oh my gosh, we're just digging into all the rules today, and I'm having to like find them. I'm so scattered. But I think it's like each week away, the blood bond loses a point of power. I'm going to make sure. And then because she's been away at least almost a week now, you're getting... I think we're going to go ahead and say she's been away a week. So yeah, here we go. Blood bond system. A bond strength equal to the number of times the thrall has consumed the regnant's blood, up to 6. And decreases by 1 for each month, during which the thrall consumes none of the regnant's blood.
Month?
To attempt something against their regnant's wishes, the thrall must succeed in a resolve plus intelligence versus bond strength. So,
God.
you though, were trying to like kind of wean her off of that blood and onto like kind of this diffractionated blood, right?
Yeah.
Now, Jen Brown, you realize, so you're going to spend a couple hours studying all this and just waiting for Curtis to get back because he's fine.
I'm going to also say that I'm going to invite Thana to like look through the book with me.
Yeah.
Like, we do it together kind of thing. So it doesn't feel like I'm icing her out.
Yeah. So you know that you can't blood bond because you are a thin blood. But, and I think that if someone else was like feeding her their blood, she would just have 2 blood bonds.
Right.
But if you want to try some really wacky alchemy stuff, to speed up this process, like you have this book that is about like living in peace and balance with mortals. You have a lot of alchemy ability and you use your abilities a lot. I can set a really tough roll for you to try to figure something out that might like counteract the bond in some way.
Okay.
All right, great. So let's do an intelligence plus thin blood alchemy roll. You're spending like 3 hours of the evening on all of this, maybe more here in a little bit. And that roll is going to have a difficulty of 5. But if you get it, I'm going to allow you to speed things up. As long as you keep like feeding her this elixir, instead of months, it will be measured in weeks.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like tonight, bang, the blood
Right.
bond is gone. It's going to be like you're speeding up the process of like kind of like purging Sonia's vitae from her system.
I have exactly 5 to work with, but I'm hungry.
Oh, and you do not want to messy, critical, or bestial failure on this one because it could be dangerous to Sabrina.
Maybe I'll just sit with Sabrina, and I might just like try to do it the old-fashioned way, where I'm like going to recount some like funny story some connection that we have, and just try to like get her reminiscing about our life prior. And I just imagine if there's like a table that like Sabrina has her set up, and then Thana and I are at the book, and every so often I talk to Sabrina, and then I go back to Thana and I look through the book with Thana, and I'm kind of just talking to them and doing that until I think a lot of time starts to go by, and I kind of wonder where Curtis is.
Great. So I want you to make a social roll instead, and it will have some sort of benefit. To overcome this blood bond, you need to get at least enough successes that are at least half its strength, which I think is a full 6. So you need to give me 3 successes on a, I'd say charisma plus persuade, or you could use something else if there's something you like better.
That works. Charisma plus persuade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
Okay, your 2 successes are enough for her to really get her mind off of Sonia and have a good time with you. And your willpower is completely restored if you've used any. And so is hers. And it's not enough for her to give you the clue that you were looking for from her to kind of break her conditioning. but she's like herself for a little while. And what an interesting way to spend time as a vampire. You guys never look. This is why Jen Brown is maybe going to finally get through to a Galconda one day or regain her lost humanity, because she just spends time hanging out with friends. Whereas everybody else is, I have to rip. Speaking of how Lucius's unlife is different, Lucius, with your 5 XP, I'm trying to see, this is a completely new discipline for you, right?
Right.
It's a completely new discipline. So you might not have enough for the first dot. I'm suddenly realizing it might be for a completely new discipline. I think it's 7 XP to buy it. Can I get a confirmation of that? Oh, here they are.
I think
Other discipline, new level times 7. So you need like 2 more XP. Can you spend 2 XP? Do you have 2 XP?
I think I had
over?
2 left.
You did. So you may add those, and now you may purchase. You learn a technique. And by the way, this is going to be the technique that you learn, okay?
Okay.
And it's a weird one. But Orman was doing a lot of weird stuff with chemicals and vitae down in his laboratory. You learn corrosive vitae. Altering the properties of some of their own blood, the user can make it highly corrosive to dead substances, able to corrode most items down to steaming sludge, given enough time and blood shed.
Was that the shit I was eating?
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, you've kind of learned how to make the weird blood mucus that melts through steel.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. So while Jen Brown is reminiscing and having fun with friends, Lucius Ali is like melting steel with his blood. A lot of time has passed, and no Curtis Krieger.
Has Ruby shown up yet? Not to mention.
Thank you. Yes. The dog comes through the door and seems agitated.
Where's Curtis?
She just is kind of like,
where is he? Where's she, boy? Where's she, girl?
growling and running around like crazy, and kind of like sort of trying to lead you out of the door. But of course, she doesn't know exactly where Curtis has gone.
I'm gonna fumble for my phone and look to see if I can see like my tracking of Curtis where he is.
Great. Yeah, you can see with your tracking of Curtis that his like little dot is moving steadily toward Washington's Landing.
Shit.
And now let's cut back to Curtis in the back of that van. Anything you want to try in the back of that van, Curtis? You are free of the sort of entrancement that was put over you.
Did they disarm me?
They did, and they took your phone.
Okay. First off, I've lived in Pittsburgh and I am streetwise. Is our route, as I see it, are we coming up to, or I want to know.
You're about to cross the bridge.
Great. As we come up to it, I'm casting. Suddenly I go silent running mode, and which is just free.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to, I assume I'm zip tied with my hands behind me or in front of me.
Behind you.
I will then feral weapon these things off my hands in silence.
Not super easy, but possible, right? And you are like completely silent because you've used your silence unto death power. So the ghoul is just watching you, and then occasionally kind of like looking out the window, and you can hear Bob up front, like right before you turn your silence on, going like, so should I like send like a kind of like a ransom text, or no, don't do anything. And
glad he annoys them as much as he annoyed us. Great.
And suddenly she's like, no, don't do, because you've like put the circle of silence around yourself. And now I'd say with your claws you can add your protean to an escape attempt. Real G is moving silence like lasagna, like the G in lasagna. Okay, so you need to give me a roll though, I think. And I think
I need to rouse to weaponize my hands.
Yeah. Where does that put your hunger?
Let's see. That puts it just where it was, and so that's good.
Okay. And now I'll allow you to add your protean to an escape attempt. So your protean is 2, right?
That's right.
And then you can add that to I think it's going to be a dexterity plus larceny roll. Is
Great.
that still on the sheet?
It is.
I'm confused. Okay, yeah, dexterity plus larceny. And unfortunately, to get out of the zip tie, it's really hard. So it's going to be a 4 successes roll.
That dice pool is enormous. And I didn't hit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to spend a willpower.
Good idea.
And 5 successes.
Haha.
Ooh.
So as quietly as you'd like, as surreptitiously as you'd like, you just cut through the zip ties with your claws behind you.
Great. And I've got a ghoul beside me.
Yeah, you've got a ghoul kind of like watching you. He's like carrying like one of those guns that they use to kind of like trank you guys. It doesn't look like it's like a gun that's like, just bullets. It looks like it like shoots darts or something.
And tell me about this van. Is it a sliding door? There are doors on both sides?
It's like one of those back kind of like delivery van kind of deals.
So there's no door.
It's one of the water vans. Remember they were having all that water. So they had a big truck you saw go in at one point, but now this is like a water van.
So I'm sorry to get into the.
So the only other thing back here other than the ghoul are like empty bottles of like, office water.
Okay. But there's a door, there's no windows, and then the windows of the passenger seat and front seat and the windshield.
There's like a little window high up, like toward the front where the front seat is, which is kind of separated. There's like a little window into the front seat, but there is like kind of a wall there. It's not like you can just grab the back of the seats.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. As we go on to the as we move on to the viaduct that goes over the bridge, I'm gonna make a break for the back door and try to open it and leap out.
Okay, the van is moving at full speed. You are about to leap out the back of a moving van.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Jared
You totally got free and you're totally silent. There's no way this guy is going to necessarily be able to move as quickly as you. So go ahead and give me a athletics roll, add dexterity to it. Leaping out of the back of a moving van without getting hurt, I'm going to put
probably
they're not going 80 miles an hour, so they're probably going like 40 miles an hour. So maybe 30. So give me 4 successes just to not get hurt.
My guy's got weight of the feather though.
That's true.
Yes, but I wouldn't use that in this situation. I'm holding that.
Okay.
Because I got a critical success.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
The ghoul looks away, and when he looks back, the doors are just going clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah.
And honk, honk, like cars, like, or like whoa, dodging to.
I dash
Curtis Krieger.
I dash to the edge of the viaduct and vault over, and that is when I turn on Weight of a Feather and drift down off of the bridge.
You were totally lost boysing like off of the side.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
And so the Allegheny is there. You could land in the water, or like because you've Weight of a Feathered, only because you've Weight of a Feathered, you could actually kind of float over to some land on the other side.
Which would put me on the other side of the way the van is going.
They're out in the middle of a bridge.
Great.
Right? So, you wouldn't be on the Washington Landing side. You'd be back.
I want to go into the water.
Okay, great. You go down into the water. No damage because you critted your roll. You don't even see it, but actually, don't even worry about what's happening up there. You're in a silent world of dark water right now, Curtis Krieger.
And
but I want to stop there for a second and find out what Lucius and Jen Brown do when they see that Curtis Krieger is a dot that is rapidly moving toward Washington's Landing.
Well, I'm going to go get Lucius and show him.
Right.
Um,
You find Lucius experimenting with his blood in the creepy laboratory where you killed all those zombies.
Lucius, they have Curtis. Or they must have Curtis. He's heading toward Washington's Landing.
What?
I don't know. Ruby came back without him. They must have gotten him.
Fuck! And I'm gonna sort of run up the stairs or run past Jen and kind of look around and possibly be like, do we have a vehicle? Is there a vehicle? Do we have a vehicle? We need to follow.
I think you definitely stole a vehicle last time,
Yeah, we
if I'm
did.
not mistaken. Yeah, so you have a vehicle. Yes.
Cool.
What are we gonna do? It's just the two of us.
No, it's
How are
fine.
we gonna get him out?
We've done this before. We can do this again. Sabrina, tell me, is there any weaknesses or any way or anything that you can remember from where you were at Washington's Landing, which would be easier to get into?
Easier to get into? No, I mean, the whole point is that it's a walled complex with guards posted everywhere. I
You
don't
say
know.
that, but we got in and got
Do you have a
out. There must be
helicopter?
something.
Do you have an airplane? You can crash into a building? I'm sorry,
Fuck.
Doctor. I don't know what you want me to say. If they have him, probably Sonia just wants to talk to him.
Oh my God.
She's really concerned with
Shut
getting
up.
us
Okay,
all.
that's fine. Thank you, Jen. Is there a way of, I don't know, possibly sending your Gargi to the,
Your Gargi.
to the place just I don't know, to scout or find him.
Look, I'll write him there, and you stay back. And if I get taken, then
What?
just get everyone to safety. I can't
No.
leave him, Lucius.
I understand that, but to lose you as well, are you mad? I have to come with you.
Wait. That kindred. That kindred that wanted to talk to you, that took Clara.
Yes,
Do you know how to contact him?
Jen.
We can't go in by ourselves. They're gonna kill him. Lucius,
All right,
there's no
fine,
way they're gonna
fine,
let him
fine.
live.
Jen, fine. I can.
Jen
Oh.
can't breathe, that she starts hyperventilating.
I'll contact him. Wait. You're breathing.
I do this sometimes when I panic.
Am I noticing how human how human Jen is almost?
I'd
looking
say
like?
it'd be hard not to. Absolutely.
Fascinating. Right, I'm gonna go contact him, and I'm just gonna go and give him a call.
He says, "I have friends." He immediately. Oh, well, do you want to talk to him on the phone, Doctor? I've been waiting for your call. You've reconsidered.
Yes, I mean, we look.
I understand these are difficult decisions. Sometimes
These are
they take-
hard, yes, and we are in a sticky situation. And I
Ah.
think what might be useful is if maybe you help us, and we can then help you.
Perhaps I can be of service. I have some useful friends.
Yes,
What's the
Well,
situation?
our friend, one of the members of our group, our family, have been taken by the Camarilla. They're heading towards Washington Landing, and we are certain that they will try and dispose him. We need to find a way of saving him and possibly ending the Camarilla at the same time.
Well, big plans, big night. Tell me where to send my team.
Well, first we need to send them at Washington's Landing to see if they can find our friend. I'm sure you know him, Curtis Krieger.
I have 3 very competent agents that I can send to aid you.
Thank
They're
you.
on their way.
Wait.
Yes.
What do you need from me? What will the payment of this be?
Oh, no payment. It's a favor. Keep an eye out for my agents. They look like small children.
I'm gonna look at the phone and be like, children. And then I'm gonna go back to Jen and be like, he's helping us as a favor. He says that he sent 3 agents. They would look like children.
Okay.
But they're helping us. So I think the only thing we can do is wait and hope.
We should go as well.
What?
Look, I know that this is a shit move. There's going to be fallout for this. Who knows if they'll take him and kidnap him too. I need to go and I'll help them somehow. I'll take the gargoyle.
Then I think that maybe this is something we don't want to return back to the scene where we caused a fucking mess. This is probably the best thing to do, is just to wait. And besides, Curtis is much more capable of handling himself.
Are any of the other characters around, or are you guys having this argument privately? You can say no. You can say no. You can be having it privately.
I don't know. I think because of this situation, it feels quite public.
Okay, yeah, you're kind of yelling and it kind of all happened at once. Clara's like, what are you talking about? Are you being a coward? Come on, Lucius. We've got to help Curtis.
We can stay hidden. We can stay hidden. We just won't engage. We won't engage unless we have to. We'll stay hidden.
I can't believe this. Who's
Thana
the person
says-
with the crazy ideas here?
Thana says, Jen Brown, the book says that when the beast takes over and one acts as a beast, they may accept the consequences of behaving like a beast. Curtis Krieger, he has been hunted like a beast. Let him see if he can use his beast's cunning to escape. Clara's like, what are you listening to this crazy book for? Come on, we've got to help him.
Can I roll something to see if I can contain myself? I feel like when Curtis is in danger, Jen loses all chill. But I want to see if I can.
You can. What do you think you would roll? I mean, willpower is the obvious answer.
Plus composure, maybe? Or
yeah. If you no, it would be just your willpower usually when you make a willpower roll,
Okay.
which is refilled for you. Or if you'd like to just roll your composure plus your resolve, you could roll that, and it'd be like more of a skill roll to kind of stay in control.
I'll just do my willpower.
Okay.
I got 3 successes.
Then play it however you'd like, Jen Brown. And by that, I mean, if you want to go get him, you go get him. If you want to stay calm, you stay calm.
I'm going to try to compose myself and say to Lucius, we just made a deal with the devil, potentially. So I just want to make sure that whoever these agents are don't put us in a worse spot than we already are. I hear you. Going back could be insane, but maybe there's a way to watch and only intervene if we have to. Clara scouted it. Maybe there's a way we could watch from afar.
I know exactly the spot. I know the spot.
Yes,
I'll take you
I
there.
know you know the spot, Clara. You're very good. Fine. But we're just watching. We're not getting involved because it's...
We're just watching.
Yes.
And
We're
going to
wasting
see.
time.
Fine, let's move.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
I'll send
just
him to the
sort of
car and I'll
beam
say to
out the door.
Thana, we'll see if the beast, like I'm going to try to say to her because I'm composed now, like I'm going to see if he can use the beast to get him out.
In fact, Thana's wrong about her interpretation of the book, Jen Brown. Here's why I'm going to say what you realize when you're talking to her in this last moment before you head out the door. You're the one with the Galconda lore sheet, Dot. And you know that leaving a friend to die could endanger your ability to increase your humanity.
Okay, so I'm going to say to her then, I've studied the book as well. And one of the main tenets is to make sure that we keep our coterie, our family together, to never leave anyone behind. I wouldn't leave you behind, Thana. And I can't leave him.
This requires more study.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go get Gargoyle and I think I can't ride him anymore. Is that the deal?
Sure, I'll allow you to ride him. I'll allow you to ride.
I'm gonna
Sure.
stealthily
There may be
follow
some-
the car.
There may be some rolls. Yes. There may be some rolls to kind of hold on if things get tough, but for now, the car and the gargoyle head off toward the spot that's still on your phone, which is actually now the bridge onto Washington's Landing. And for some reason, that dot isn't moving anymore. It's sticking in the middle of that bridge. And let's just have this all happen at once. Curtis Krieger. Basically, Clara is taking you guys down like a wooded hillside to the edge of the river where you can get like a really good view of the bridge. And you see up there like a water truck, which seems significant to you. Jen Brown, you and Gargoyle arrive first, like moving through these high weeds. Lucius, did you bring Clara?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
you guys, Dylan's not coming, and neither is Thana. You guys are kind of parking your car up on the other side of the Allegheny, and you can kind of start moving down. So just to be clear on the space that we're in, so we're down like on this kind of like woody, very weedy, high grass slope that leads down to the river. There are sort of like guardrails and things to make sure people don't just go running into the Allegheny here. And then up above you, you can kind of see the bridge that heads over to Washington's Landing off in the distance. And you can see all of you as you arrive that there is a truck up there, a water truck. And right about then we can have Curtis Krieger. What are you doing? Where are you? We left you in the water. Where are you now?
I would want to be like just doing the vampire thing of unbreathingly walking in the muddy banks beneath the water, away from the bridge, kind of north, south, whichever direction leads me in any way closer to the haven. And
okay, very good. Curtis Krieger. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You are emerging from the water. Jen Brown or Lucius and Clara, you're looking for him, right? So give me a roll that will help you look for him to see if you find the spot where he's coming out, or see if you figured out what's happened.
Would that be
What would that be?
composure and insight, or like composure and
investigation? Let's do composure plus investigation. Yeah, I love that.
Could I do like wits plus investigation?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
I got 2.
I
Okay.
need to eat. I'm so hungry. I got 1 success.
Okay. So 2 successes and 1 success. You guys are pretty far from Curtis. That's not enough. You're pretty far from him, and you don't realize. Curtis, you're kind of moving up out of the water right now, and now I'm making a roll for somebody else right now, and then you can do something. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good roll. Okay, how did you do, Curtis Krieger? What are you about to ask me?
I guess I don't. Nothing happens there. I want to get enough distance between me and the bridge to where I feel I can safely exit the water without being seen.
Okay, you've done that, and maybe that's why these guys are having trouble finding you. You've gone quite a bit down the river, and no need for a roll. I mean, I think that makes sense. You can move under the water without breathing. But I have some unfortunate information for Jen Brown and Lucius and Clara and the Gargoyle, which is that you guys moved right up to kind of the hot spot that Curtis Krieger kind of moved away from. And so suddenly you see the Archon standing on the bridge looking at you, and she jumps. And she also kind of like floats down towards you, pulling her K-bar knives as she does so. She's kind of floating down toward all of you. And you can see that people are running along the bridge, like down to where they come to the road and then be able to kind of like cross down to where you guys are, but it'll take them a while. But the Archon's coming straight for you guys. And finally she lands like where just a little bit of her like, knee high. She lands in the water. And now I'm going to say you guys can definitely react to this in some way. The gargoyle beneath you, Jen Brown, is like kind of tensing for a confrontation, flexing its one wing. And it's, there's like cracking sounds. A little dust shakes forth from it.
I'm sort of going to look to Jen and be like, we need to run.
I'll buy you time. And I'm gonna be like, lunge for like Gargi to attack.
On top of Gargoyle. Oh my God, you're insane!
I'm got conda, baby. I gotta get away.
Oh, God.
Lucius, are you going to retreat?
Absolutely not. I'm going to tell Clara to just get the fuck out now.
Okay, Jen Brown, you make a leadership roll, a charisma plus leadership roll to kind of do war, get Gargi to like attack in a smart way. If you have any ideas on what she should do, the Archon is sort of just now climbing up over that guardrail with like a knife in her hand. And Lucius Ali, are you going to take an action this round? What are you going to do?
I think if I see as she's just about to go, but I'm gonna be like, no, and then I'm gonna try and use my soaring leap. I love this ability to try and just basically slam into the Archon and just push her into the fucking water or something like that. I don't know.
Great. I have a gargoyle and a soaring vampire coming at my Archon at once. Mm-hmm. Could I please have attacks from both of you? Let's have strength plus brawl attacks from Lucius, and your attack, Jen Brown, is done through the gargoyle by rolling that charisma plus leadership roll. And how did your rolls go?
I'm gonna blood surge as well.
Good idea.
Okay, I got hungrier, so I'm at 3 now. Fuck. And then but that gives me 7 successes.
Whoa.
Oh, 7? Really?
Yeah, because it's I'm adding my my prowess as well, right? To my roll. So that gives me an extra 2.
Yeah, let's see how she did. 7 successes.
We've got a gargoyle too, right?
Yeah, you do, and she wasn't ready for that. So, Lucius, I just want to narrate your part first. You leap at the Archon, who is in the most precarious position, like kind of climbing over the side of a guardrail, and you hit her full force with everything you've got, and she just catches you. Like she just takes the impact and doesn't go over the side, which is inconceivable. So you guys are kind of just suddenly locked in a melee with each other, in a brawl with each other, but the gargoyle hasn't gone yet. How did your instructional roll go, Jen Brown?
I burned all of my willpower to get 1 success.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God.
Total failure, Jen Brown.
What the hell?
But I have a very good reason why this happens, because I'm going to tell you what the Archon does. Other than the Archon just kind of absorbing Lucius's attack, the gargoyle, for some reason, it's hesitating, Jen Brown, as it moves toward the Archon, and then the Archon looks directly at the gargoyle and says, Marduk, Nurgal, Inanna, very loudly, and suddenly the gargoyle like twists and bucks you off of its back as hard as it can. You need to give me if you want to hold on, you have to give me some kind of roll.
What?
Okay.
Oh no.
What would that be? Strength plus athletics or plus dexterity, or strength plus dexterity?
Let's go strength plus dexterity. Or no, strength plus dexterity. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Fuck. 1 success.
Not enough. Jen Brown hits the pavement hard. And not enough to give any superficial damage. She's just bucked free of the gargoyle, which now turns, and its eye looks at positively like bloodthirsty and evil now as it starts to creep toward you. And the Archon has like Lucius, like she's like currently like struggling with Lucius on the edge of this guardrail, and goes, "Destroy her." To the gargoyle, who like reaches up with its claws.
And I'm gonna just shout, "No!"
Yeah, you can shout no. But you haven't given the special code word. Let's decide what our final roll of the night is going to be,
Are
everybody.
there any children around?
Jen Brown, as the gargoyle like comes toward you, there's this sense of unreality, right? Like you're kind of like, what the fuck is happening? How is this happening? What's going on? And like you look up, and on the edge of the bluff, like way up above where you kind of came down into this place by the river, you see 3 little kids watching you and kind of going, and they're dressed like in like knickers and like it looks like they're dressed like in turn of the century kids outfits. Like the little girl has like a little puffy like dress. They look like members of our gang, and they're just kind of watching you. Okay, so what happens? What do you do when this gargoyle is coming toward you, Jen Brown? Because we're going to do one final roll. The gargoyle looks like it's going to attack Jen Brown. The Archon is going to, probably try to get Lucius off of her. Actually, you think about it for a second, Jen Brown. You have a bigger problem. Lucius, what are you going to do this round?
I'm going to look at the Archon and sort of plead with her to spare Jen. And just be like, please, I'll do anything. Don't hurt her. Please don't hurt her. Please. I'll do anything, please.
That is a very interesting action. Jen Brown, what are you going to do?
There's no way I can stop the gargoyle. I'm going to try to connect with it. This is what I tried to do last time, and then it put me into torpor. But I'm going to try because we spent time together, and I fed it my blood, and I hope I've treated it well. So I'm going to try to just look at its eye and say, please don't, please.
Okay, I'm going to now narrow what happens.
Pleading.
Yes, Jen Brown, you're saying, please don't do this. The gargoyle slams Jen Brown's neck against the ground. It's stone. It's putting all of its weight onto her neck. Jen Brown, you felt like you've been breathing lately, and now you can feel your breath cut off. Lucius, let me hear you plead. The Archon's just sitting there holding you.
Look, I will come. I will do anything. Just look, she's done so much for me. Please do not hurt her. Please, I beg you. I will give you everything. I'll give you myself, my world. I'll give you everything.
Can Jen croak out like a no?
I beg you, please.
Jen, you can't quite speak. And again, things are kind of going fuzzy. Like you can feel like damage being done to you, and you can just see these children looking down at you from this bluff, and it's completely surreal. And the Archon says, "Put on this zip tie," and hands it to Lucius. And let's see how much damage the gargoyle does this round to Jen Brown.
So much for these agents.
Okay, the gargoyle has done 1, 2, 3. Only 3 superficial damage to you so far, Jen Brown.
Okay.
And Lucius, do you put on the zip tie?
Absolutely. I'm putting them straight on, just
okay. She helps you get them on. She's like, "Stop!" to the gargoyle, and it just kind of stops pressing and holding you there. And Jen Brown, the last thing you see before things get a little fuzzy for a second is the kids kind of skip away from you guys down the river. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh God.
Can I retcon a moment at the end of this?
Of course you can.
Just that an old guy fishing in the river is just like, it's just like is it reeling and Oh, got a big one. And then is like looking at the river is like this hook attached to like Curtis's ear, like comes up out of the water. And it's just like, give me your phone.
Well, I want to add a moment to that moment. You're on a phone and you're like, and this fisherman has run away from you, and you look up and there are three small children in like turn of the century garb just standing in the high weeds, and one of them says, Curtis Krieger, and the other one says, we found him. And that's where we'll end for today.
Oh my god.
Their instructions were to find Curtis Krieger.
That's true. That's true.
Whatever they are, they follow instructions. So, wow. It got really crazy. It got really, really crazy. But I had fun. I hope you guys did too.
Yes.
Oh god, this is. Oh my god.
The
Jen was
Archon.
being too reasonable for too long. She needed to make a really bad call.
Well, I think that she made the call that goes with her path of being a human and being like a good person. Unfortunately, no good deed goes unpunished, especially in role-playing games. Wow. And then the Archon, she has so many commands ready to activate on people. Remember when she did that to Lucius in the first session with Lucius?
God, who the hell? Like, this is.
Oh man.
Oh man.
How did the frat just got a new house?
I
Really
know.
settle, man.
Let me bring in our wonderful secret storyteller, Clinton Trucks, for a second, because he's going to remind me, I think that hey, buddy, how are you?
Every day's a struggle. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Secret storyteller, Clinton Trucks, we are going to see the Inquisitors next time, right?
Indeed. So, hate to leave you guys on a crazy cliffhanger, but we're giving Jen, Curtis, and Lucius next week off, and instead we're handing Pittsburgh over to the bad guys. We're going to be being our Inquisitors. Humphrey Carr, Nora Ibrahim will return as Gilles Demenoir and Sister Mary Ursula, and they'll be joined by a new Inquisitor played by LA by Night's own B. Dave Walters.
Wow, that's really great. So I kind of love
real murderers to throw at our friends here.
I am so happy that we're leaving on one of the best cliffhangers we've had. We always have an incredible cliffhanger with this group because you guys play hard, and I really appreciate that. So thanks again, and thank you, Clint, and thank you to Ashley Burch, Abu Salim, and Ross Bryant for another incredible game. And we'll see you guys really soon. Enjoy your little bit of time off. Take time to think about how to handle this.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Thanks,
to.
Jared.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm going to say goodbye to my players for right now and give you a little bit of post-game info. So that was our big Easter egg for you to drop, that you'll see the Inquisitors along with B. Dave Walters next week.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
All right, now, Usher, will you say Happy Easter DuPont Chemical? Go. All right. Whoa, boy, what's going to happen to Jen, Curtis, and Lucius next? We'll have to wait to find out. Next Sunday is Inquisitors of Pittsburgh, as we just mentioned. We are dark during the coming week so that I can do some games with the glass cannon, but Stream of Blood is back on Saturday, next Saturday, with Blood and Blades, The Weird Sisters. It will be starring Becca Scott and our new recruits, Jasmine Billar and Josephine McAdam, as a crew of assassins with ties to the Eruvian consulate. This is going to be maybe the most James Bond of our Duskfall crews. It's going to be cool. Becca Scott always kills it, and now she will be literally killing it by murdering people in the game. Our podcast is still running, and we have just finished all 30 episodes of the original Vampires of Pittsburgh Chronicle. Lockdown is starting soon, and then we will be putting on all of the episodes of our other shows. I highly recommend that you subscribe, rate, and review that show. and it helps us out. It helps people know we're here with the streams, and it just increases people's knowledge of this very deep, rich, and vitae-filled vampire world we've created. Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition is part of the World of Darkness from Paradox Interactive and Modiphius Games. Original artwork for Vampires of Pittsburgh is by Will Potworth. You can see more of his artwork at Instagram or at willpotworth.com. That's Pottorff. Will does sell his work, and I think he's even open to commissions. You guys should talk to him. Original music for Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown is by Axel Cases Taylor. You can hear more of Axel's work at soundcloud.com. The absolute best way to support our work here at the Stream of Blood is to subscribe on Twitch. We want more Twitch subscribers. The more we get, the more money comes in that allows us to set up new shows, get better talent. Not that we need better talent, sorry, but get more talent, people that maybe we haven't had on before, but really more content. And we do like to reward our subscribers. For example, we just created our canonical city of Philadelphia using subscriber ideas. Our faction term for Blades in the Dark allows our subscribers to control the various gangs in Duskfall that are not controlled by our players. So we want to make you one of the players as well. And to do that, we ask you to subscribe on Twitch. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook. The best way to get in touch with us is to talk to us on our Discord, the Server of Blood. And that is where you can be part of those faction turns and those other subscriber events. If anybody has a question or a comment, they can throw it through now. I'm going to say thank you to Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Megan Arch, my social media manager. Thank you to Matt Moynihan, our YouTube content producer. Thank you to Garrett Ross for our logo and to Andrew Orvidal for our opening animation. Are there any thoughts? Anybody out there want to say something before I say goodbye?
I think we've stunned them with the action of today's session, so I'm not seeing any questions.
Okay, that's great. Well, we're on the Discord later if you guys want to talk to us there. Until next time, get pink, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay undead. Bye-bye.